Good morning, Seth. I'm doing great, and as are my Packers. Yeah, they're only going to go as far as Jordan Love feels generous with the football. He's been giving it away every game, so he's just got to be a workman and not try and do more than he needs to. He's just got to control the game and not give away the football, and then we'll do well. I mean, if we don't give up the ball, we really are in a lot of extra games. I mean, the Detroit game, pick six right before halftime was just an absolute dagger. It's like, dude, take the sack. It's halftime. Anyway, yep. Well, you're going to see some flakes flying the night before, like Wednesday late afternoon into the evening. The rain's going to transition to some snow. Um, there are some bands of heavier lift, stronger lift that could create snow out of the rain and give you about a half inch of wet, sloppy snow, maybe. But for the most part, it probably will stay rain in the DeWitt County area. Yeah, yeah. Enjoy the sunshine today. The clouds are starting to move in from the west. Little light rain showers are probably going to start greeting you in the morning tomorrow at the earliest, but for the most part, it's going to be more rainy by like midday or so, mid to like by 1 o'clock. It's probably going to be steady rain, and that's going to continue until it transitions early in the late afternoon, early evening to snow a little bit in the evening, and then moving on out of here. Probably after midnight was kind of the highlight of when the snow is or rain is going to move out of here. If there is any snow, it'd be ending, same time there. And then Thanksgiving Day actually looks good. Sunny, 38. Generally nice day. Northwest winds keeping it a little cool, but really all in all, not bad. It's just that travel day on Wednesday is going to have some precip, and that's going to make the roads a little slippery. So people kind of just be aware of that, slow it down a little, hydroplaning or even a little bit of slippery snow on the road. So just got to be careful. Yeah, the sun might break out a little bit, but yeah, it'll be blustery. Winds are going to be gusting to as high as 20, 25 miles an hour out of the northwest. So it's going to feel wintry out there, even though the high is 38, which is pretty far below normal. We're normally in the mid 40s for highs, so it'll be cooler. And then, that cold air is really going to actually stay around for quite a while as we head into the weekend. Highs are only going to be in the 20s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Keep moving on. Yeah, so we're going to be below normal for quite a while here, the next 8 to 10 days or so. It looks like. Yeah, we've got a real cold air mass that has been residing in the northern Canadian provinces and prairies, and it's just going to be allowed to shift south. There's a, pretty persistent high pressure that's moving in off the west coast. So it's shoving the colder air east, and we're just going to kind of get a stagnation of that cold air. The jet stream is going to stay in a buckle across, the central mid Mississippi Valley and just stay in that position for the first week of December, probably. So we're going to just to allow that cold air to take up residence and then just say hello, and winter is starting. Yeah, there's a little clipper coming on Saturday, and that's probably going to be mainly south of DeWitt County and most of central Illinois, really. Probably Springfield to maybe Effingham and south. There's a little burst of snow coming with what we call a clipper. And that can be, 1 to 2 inches of snow on Saturday for that area. There may be some flakes flying as far north as DeWitt on Saturday. There probably will be. You'll see some snow flying on Saturday, but it isn't going to stick up in Clinton or that, the DeWitt area. So But that's the next snow, and then after that, there really isn't a lot of snow with this. It's a dry air mass. It's just dry and cold, and then it eventually warms up enough for maybe a little bit of rain as we head into the following weekend, like the 6th, 7th, 8th of December. Maybe a little bit of rain, but really no major snowstorms all the way out. Geez, this model goes to December 12th. So, as far as snow sticking on the ground, if you don't get any from that Wednesday night, and then Saturday will be just, you may see it accumulate against the grass line or something if the clipper gets close enough to DeWitt County. But otherwise, really, nothing appreciable through mid-December with, snowstorms anyway. Yeah, it's going to be cold though. It's going to feel wintry. So, yeah. Right. Yeah, we were really above normal solidly. I mean, we're 5 degrees above normal for the month. We had 10 days of in the 60s, some of them mid to upper 60s. So, we were definitely it had an enjoyable fall November, so to speak. So, we're almost it's 4.8 officially, but then the precip was above normal too. We're 2.5 inches above normal, almost 5 inches of rainfall this month. So, we kind of took a bite out of that drought a little bit, and the soil moistures are responding nicely. So, but a lot of that rain came in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of November, early on in the month, and then there have been sizable breaks without much precipitation. Although we had 1 inch on the 18th there, but just enough to help our drought conditions, and it really was relatively a nice month overall as Novembers go. They've been a lot worse than this one. Yeah, yeah, yep. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. There were pockets where it was like, man, it's football season and it's cold. Yeah, we did the same thing. Those Saturdays seemed to like had a little bit of a dip, and unfortunately, people had to endure that for the football season finals and championships coming up here. Yes, yes, it is. It's yeah. I think our high is only forecast to be what is it? Yeah, 28, 40% chance of snow. So that's the day when the clipper comes in, huh? So they could be playing in as the snow is flying. And no, no. Yeah, wind chills will be in the teens, maybe even a bursts of right around 10 or upper single digits. So you're gonna want to bundle up, and but it's football time when you're energetic and getting into the championships. I think it's championship Saturday, I believe. So we're gonna the energy will keep you warm. Yeah, yeah. There was a preponderance of clouds. Unfortunately, there looks like there was about 7 days where we had enough sun to tip the balance to the partly cloudy, mostly sunny. Um, but we're at 25 for the month, so roughly about a quarter of the month had days that we had enough sunshine to trigger the mostly sunny side of things. Yep. Yes. You're actually absolutely right. Yeah, we've had a pretty quiet period of time ever since that big July 3 days of derecho and tornadoes, and things have just been kind of taking a little bit of an exhale. We've had some wind created those field fires, so we had a wind event kind of creating that problem. But overall, severe weather has been pretty quiet. Knock on wood. Every time I say the Q word at an emergency manager meeting, they just start throwing tomatoes at me. Don't use the Q word. And but it really, we've been kind of lucky. Our Novembers and Decembers have been really busy, and La Nina winters have had some tornado activity, which I hate to say the T word, but we always got to be on edge when La Nina winters come in, because the tornado numbers just creep up generally on average during La Nina. I think we did hit a record high in Lincoln, maybe on the 19th. But yeah, and a record warm low, 53 on the 18th, I think was a record warm low. Um, so not many though. Right. Yeah, it was very warm in the morning. Unfortunately, we go from midnight to midnight. So the previous midnight or the next midnight, we'd already dropped pretty low. So by after the cold front went through, yeah, the cold front went through Monday, and then by midnight Monday night, we had dropped all the way down to 30, I think, by midnight. So even though the morning was really warm, the whole day has a low temperature assigned to it. So, but that morning was nice. I appreciated that. Yeah, when I got out. Yeah. The leading edge of the first wave of cold air came in. This has been residing mainly over the Dakotas, so it's not a real, the Arctic feel. That's going to come in with the next cold push that's coming in this weekend. So Sunday morning, especially, and Monday morning, the wind chills are going to be down near zero. So that's when the Arctic wave is going to rotate in, because when low pressure comes in, it has the first push, but there's a lot colder air that's still up in Canada that's going to rotate around the low. And sometimes we don't get that second wave because the low is moving so fast. But this time it's taking up residence over the Great Lakes. So we're going to get another lobe of Canadian, almost Arctic kind of cold that's been modifying over the Canadian prairies because it's not snowy there yet. But it's still, single digits for wind chills. It's pretty cold, and even the air temps are going to be approaching, the lower teens in some spots. So that's coming. I know. Weather.gov/Lincoln. Sure, sure. I mean, the overall monthly outlook has us equal chances of above or below normal temperatures and equal chances of above or below normal precipitation. So that's the whole encapsulation of the month. But we've got those 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day and 3 to 4 week outlooks coming in, and it's looking like it's going to stay colder than normal through the first half of the month at least, which may bode well for the last half of the month, counteracting that in being slightly above normal so that we kind of equal out for the rest of the month. But precipitation wise, we're not seeing a whole lot. I mean, it shows above equal chances, but right now I'm not seeing a lot of precipitation occurring that's going to boost us up to that 3 inch amount that we typically see in December. Yeah, well, no, actually, we only average about 2.3. So, we'll probably be slightly below normal precip wise based on what I'm seeing at this point. But that first cold 2 weeks, it's winter, but the last half might moderate a little bit back up and see some more 40s creep in there, so we can kind of we won't see a lot of snow in the first half that I mentioned already, but precipitation is going to start to ramp up as the jet stream rebounds after our cold snap. So we've got to be ready for some precip, and it could be wintry for heading into the Christmas part of the month. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, don't get that shovel ready because, although La Nina isn't really in full steam yet, it's still projected to come into play and create a little bit more of a storm track across, the upper Mississippi Valley and including the central Great Lakes. So we could see some of that start to set up. Yep. Yeah, we start at 44 and 27 for average high and low, and then we finish at 35 and 20. So we drop 7 degrees on our lows and we drop 9 degrees on our highs. So, you end the month with averaging right around a freezing morning and a sub-freezing, or excuse me, sub-freezing morning, and then highs in the mid 30s. So definitely chilly. That's correct. Yeah, December 21st, right around there is the winter solstice. That's when we have the least amount of overall daylight officially. Although there's some oscillation that the earliest sunrise is offset from the latest, or the earliest sunset is offset from the latest sunrise just by a few days. So there's kind of like a little window in there where, because the Earth isn't perfectly round and the sun, the axis isn't exactly perfectly oriented. So there's like 4 or 5 days where we're kind of extra minute on the sunrise and less on the sunset. So the actual 21st is not the latest sunrise and earliest sunset. That kind of is a little bit of a balance tip there. So yeah. it's even slower developing because it's still minus zero point 0.1 Celsius, which is a neutral status. It's called ENSO neutral, El Nino Southern Oscillation neutral. Minus zero point 0.5 Celsius below normal is the start of La Nina. So it's still projected to get there, 60% chance in the next month that it's going to actually start to get a little bit cooler off that equatorial Pacific and start to influence our jet stream a little bit more. But it's looking like it's going to remain just a really weak La Nina, though, so that may not have as major of an impact on our winter that they previously thought, because we were thinking this was going to already be well established by the end of December, and right now that's just trending a little bit slower anyway. Yeah, right now it's showing equal chances of above or below normal temperatures, but there's really cold air just to our west in the outlooks, some substantially below normal for the Great Lakes, Western Iowa. So it's nearby. So I'm going to have some cold snaps, I think, in there. Precip looks above normal. They're solidly bullseyeing like Illinois up into the central Great Lakes. So there could be some impactful wintry weather this year, and maybe even some freezing rain, which we typically see about 5 systems of freezing rain. So, be ready for winter. I know we've had 2 years where it's kind of not been as impactful, but just be prepared. Don't want to get caught off guard because slippery roads can lead to really serious accidents. Weather.gov/Lincoln.